Legends, today I want to show you a really cool race that I did in Forza Horizon 4. Actually, 3 races. There were a street racing championship to win the McLaren Speedtail. And this race was not open for everybody. If you didn't have a McLaren, you could not race on it, so it was exclusive to the brand. I wasn't an owner yet, but I raced the 570S, a beautiful car that makes 570 horsepower from a V8 engine. The race starts at the city's lower area, and by the tire marks, people were having fun last night. As I pressed the wrong button opening the game map instead of starting the race, you can see that I don't have a McLaren yet, so why not buy the cheapest one? 224 grand? Let's go. Now we're gonna choose a color. Which one is it gonna be? Is it gonna be a different color? Yeah, maybe not. 224 grand? Yeah. That's it. Bit of a cheaper car than the other ones, 400 grand. That's awesome. Let's start the race. Before each race, I always like to check the difficulty, see if it's right, if it's set to highly skilled. I also like to take a look at the controls, see if everything is working right, and also the assist, see if everything is set to off, and everything in the hardest difficulty, just manual shifting because this car didn't have a clutch. And just like that, we go straight to the race start. So we begin by accelerating hard, but we don't have any grip, so we have to upshift. Yeah, not such a great start compared to the guy beside me, but we can see that I'm in the middle of the pack. As I've never driven this car, the braking wasn't so great either, and I'm trying to get used to this car steering. The acceleration is a little bit hard because the car ends up skidding a little bit, so we start to brake a little too early, we stop braking, and then we lose control of the car. The car skids a bit, but we manage to go back to the race intact. After a little bump in the McLaren 12C, we were able to get another position easily because it braked, and we go smoothly into the racing line. In the next corner, we go ahead to touch the apex, thinking that the next corner is a right-hander, but it's actually a left-hander. So this track is slightly different from the one that we have by day, the one that is a road race, so this is the street race. But then the McLaren starts to brake a little too early, so I start to hit her, I start to skid, I start to drift a little bit, losing control, and with difficulties we manage to recover and we pass it by the inside without worries. As the brutal drivers knock out this road sign, come on, they didn't have to do that. In the exit for the next corner, the car starts to slide because of the power, and then again I try to get the inside of this car, but I scrape this guy a little bit and start drifting. Here I'm trying to get used to the car, but I hit the other guy and really lose control, which puts me in a pretty poor line for the next corner, even though we can still get a position. From here on out, let's focus on finishing the race. Now we go into an easier part of the race where I don't have to battle as much for positions anymore. But now we just have to keep the car under control and accelerate smoothly so we get those positions. Now we have some 4 cars in front of us, something like that, and you can start rushing like crazy. Then we try to start using all the track width in our favor, and we also have to learn the car because we never raced it, so we have to learn in mid-race. At this point they start braking too much, I can't brake and then I hit them, but I still take 2 positions from that one. Come on, you don't even have to brake here. Maybe it's the highly skilled difficulty that makes them a little slower than usual. Heading to the tollgate section, a bit tighter section, I managed to get the 2nd place from the inside, and in the next corner I managed to get 1st place, almost hitting the barrier, almost hitting the fence there. But now we can focus on just finishing the race, keeping our position until the end, and focusing and not losing 1st place. I think that what I lost back there was just a little bit of my breath, but come on, let's go. Yeah, but we can easily finish this race now. Looking back, there's nobody, and this is the finish line. And we go straight into a loading screen, one of those from Forza that seems to never end. Oh, it's over. Yeah, after I put it in the SSD, the loading screens got super fast. And just like that, we go straight into our second race, and it's lights out in the Broadway crossfire. We start in second gear so we don't keep banging that rev limiter, so we don't lose a crucial acceleration. We were able to start way better this time, especially compared to the last race. People are braking in front, I try to go around, but they come my way, and there's no way around it. I crash into them. Then they brake too early once again, and I crash into them. I have to get used to these cars braking too early and get out of the way. This time I didn't lose control, but next one, who knows? Coming up behind another McLaren 12C, and this time we break a little bit of the fence, but that doesn't slow us down so much. Now once again we lose a bit of traction in the corner exit here because the car is rear-wheel drive and rear engine, which contributes to oversteer. And here I start turning way too early. I cannot keep the car under control, which was really crucial for acceleration into this long straight. As you can see now, the car behind almost catching up to me, but here we just have to straighten up these curves as much as possible. It's important to pay attention to the next corner, which is an S, where people usually brake too much and we can guarantee another position smoothly, not smoothly, just smashing that wall right there, but we do manage to pass that guy and get another position. We are now approaching the race leaders and also a technical sequence of turns. Here we have to cut inside, then take the car to the outside, and we manage to cut the inside again to get another position. The McLaren F1 GTR leaves a gap open and we manage to pass two cars at once. Now you really have to nail this corner right here, otherwise you risk going to those trees right there and the race is over for you. Now you can see I was able to control the accelerator a little bit better, but not that much really. And we are now approaching the end of this race with just a few more cars to pass. Am I gonna win this race? By the end of the straight, we didn't manage to pass this car, but we do manage to pass it now because it was too far away before, and now we get another third place. From here on, we have a long hill climb where usually the most powerful cars manage to win. But I carried a bit more speed into the straight as I pull left to pass this black car and swing immediately right to avoid that Jeep right there. And then I swing left to try to pass the white McLaren, and he's faced with two cars and forced to brake. He's not able to keep up the speed. After that lucky hit and a little bit of skill too, I was able to secure first place, and now I just have to brake a little bit before this corner so I don't lose control of the car and secure the first place. And now approaching the finish line, of course, I have to throw the car sideways for an incredible pose. And we go straight into another loading screen. Oh, it's over. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Now we're gonna start the third and last race, but there's a problem. The first time I tried to race this one, I got to this point right here and I forgot to turn left. So I went straight, got into the grass, hit that tree right there, and the race was over for me. So as I turned rewind off, we had to restart from zero, and as we learned that we have to start from second gear, we did that, but we didn't get a really good start, but let's go. Here's a tip for who are still watching. I thank you wholeheartedly for your presence here. Welcome to Racing Legends, come be part of this family. Here's the thing, training for these street races is very difficult. Seeing the track at night is also very hard. Even more so because we don't have the option to train in the rivals for the street races. So in that mode, in the rivals, we can do as many laps as we want, but here we don't have this option. So what you can do is create a custom race, putting the checkpoints in the exact same places of these races, and then you can train as many times as you want there. Meanwhile, I was trading paint, the race was absolutely on fire. This McLaren F1 destroyed itself, sending me sideways around this guy for a third place secured right away. Then I started to position myself for the inside line right here, but that car made me brake, change direction, and I had to reposition. Still, I was able to keep the inside line, almost drifting there side by side with the gray car until the end of the straight, when I tried to squeeze him, but then he tries to send me wide with no success. It seems he didn't like what I did there. But anyway, now we are in second place, and it's just a matter of getting first place and keeping it until the end. As I glance at that driver in the next corner, I don't even have time to decide if I go outside or if I go inside. I end up going inside and taking the first place instead of going outside and crashing into a tree. My job in first place now is to defend only if the guy is coming after me and keeping first place. But then I see the next corner and I remember last second that I cannot go straight and I almost don't manage to brake. I start accelerating too early here and I drop two wheels off to the dirt. From here on out, the path is a lot easier because we've been here thousands and thousands of times and it is glued to our brains. Approaching the final straight, we have to do a big old drift to celebrate, don't we? In the end, we have to win the championship to get the McLaren Speedtail, so look at this reverse entry, ooh, and look at that rear end. After completing the championship, we get the McLaren Speedtail, this beautiful car that was made to go as fast as possible. It has 3 seats and one of them is right in the middle. If you want to check it out better, I've already put 1,000 horsepower in this beauty in the last episode of Build. If you want to suggest a car for me to drive, a track, a race, a game, go rallying, go drifting, you can do it in the comments below, and next time we can try it in the next episode of gameplay that doesn't have a name yet. Speaking of that, if you have a fun name for this new Racing Legends gameplay series, you can put it in the comments below, and if you love this video and want to see more, smash that like button, guys. And I'll leave you with these beautiful images of the McLaren Speedtail. Take a look.